Good afternoon. This afternoon in the kitchen I'm going to be making a carrot cake. There's one very important secret about my carrot cake though. There were no carrots harmed in the making of this cake. In other words, I have no carrots in my carrot cake. That wonderful carrot cake flavour is all about the spices we add when we're making our sponge. So here's how I make carrot cake. For those of you who have watched my previous cake making videos, making a ginger sponge and a chocolate cake, you will very quickly recognise the method used making this delicious carrot cake. I've already preheated my oven to 180 degrees centigrade, that's 355 degrees Fahrenheit. I've also greased and lined my cake tin. My cake tin happens to be a rectangular shape. I'm 10 inches across and 7.5 inches wide. I've greased and lined my cake tin with one complete sheet of greaseproof paper. This recipe makes a runny cake batter, so you need one complete sheet so you don't get any cake batter leaking out when you pour it into your tin. I split the recipe for this cake into 3 different sets of ingredients. My first set of ingredients are sugar, margarine and syrup. I've put them in a glass jug because I'm going to melt my sugar, syrup, margarine in the microwave. If you don't want to or can't do that, this works perfectly well if you put these ingredients in a saucepan and you can melt them over the stove with a saucepan and a wooden spoon. I've got 4 ounces of margarine, 4 ounces of light brown sugar. You could use caster sugar if you don't have light brown sugar available, it'll work just as well. And 4 ounces of golden syrup. Again, if you're in a country around the world that doesn't have golden syrup available, corn syrup will work perfectly well. So these ingredients I'm going to put into the microwave and heat them on high just till they start to bubble. Everything will melt and combine together, and just as it starts to bubble, it'll be ready to go into our cake. The next set of ingredients I want to prepare are our dry powder ingredients. I'm putting them straight into my cake mixer. I'm going to use my mixer. You could use just the hand mixer bit and mix it. You could beat it all up with a whisk. By hand, I have a mixer, so I'm going to use it. I've got 6 ounces of plain flour. So that's going to be the first thing into my mixing bowl. A teaspoon measure, and I'm going to have 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. This is what's going to give us our lift and bubble to our cake. There, 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. One teaspoon of cinnamon into our dry ingredients, and 2 teaspoons of mixed spice. I'm not sure I've actually got 2 teaspoons of mixed spice left, so we'll see how much I can. No, just. That's a slightly heapy teaspoon, and that's pretty perfect. And an empty spice jar. I'll have to add that to the shopping list. A little bit of dust, we'll flick that in as well. Nothing more to go in there. And our third set of ingredients is 5 fluid ounces or 1/4 pint of milk, to which I'm going to add 1 egg. Don't get the shell. I made a good mess of that. I'm going to use my spoon to scoop out that piece of shell. Oh, where's it gone? There it is. Got it. Ah, shell in my mix. And mix all over the worktop. In you go, egg. There. So, our 5 ounces of milk and an egg. or most of the egg. There's a little bit on the work surface, so I'll have to mop that up. I'm going to move the camera around now so you can see what's going on in the mixing bowl when we start pouring things in. And I'm also going to pop my syrupy mix into the microwave. Here we are, I've set you up over the mixing bowl so you can see what's going on as we beat this cake batter together. I've melted my syrup, margarine and light brown sugar just to the point where it's starting to bubble. And I'm going to place this to the side, ready for our mixture. So I've got my hot bubbly syrup ready, my milk and egg, and my dry ingredients in the mixer. I'm going to put the mixer on its lowest possible speed so as not to puff floury dust all over the kitchen, and combine the egg and milk mixture. Doesn't take long, just enough to get that mixing together a bit. And then I'm also going to slowly add our hot syrup. And in will go our hot syrup. Again, still going slowly to start with so we don't splatter this boiling mixture all over ourselves. Now it's all in and combined, I'm going to put the mixer up really fast, just for 30 seconds, all the lumps worked out. And that's us, our wonderful cake batter, ready to go into our tin. Bring our cake pan into shot and pour in our runny cake batter. And it is very runny, which is not what you normally expect from a cake mix. Trust me, it will make a beautiful, firm, delicious, moist sponge. That's it, ready to go in the oven. It'll take 35 to 40 minutes. Usual, prick it with a spike and see if it comes out clean. So we'll see you when it's ready. That's our cake in the oven, cooking nicely. While it's doing that, I'm going to use this bit of time to make a lovely cream cheese frosting to go on top. I've rinsed off my mixer beaters. I've also washed the bowl. I was going to make the frosting in my mixer. I've decided to do it in this glass bowl so you can see what's going on. 3 main ingredients in our cream cheese frosting. I have 100 grams of salted butter. In it goes. Room temperature soft butter. And 100 grams of sieved icing sugar, to which we will add 200 grams of cream cheese. My cream cheese is still in the fridge. You want your butter warm and soft, but you want your cream cheese cold. The first thing I want to do is beat up my butter till it's light and fluffy. It will change colour and get slightly paler. So lots of noise while I beat my butter light and fluffy. Now my butter's nice and light and soft and creamy. There's 100 grams of salted butter. You could use unsalted, but it must be butter. It's the hard firmness of a cold butter that you need to keep your cream cheese frosting from being a dribbly, runny, gloopy mess. And to my soft, fluffy butter, I've already sieved my icing sugar. So 100 grams of butter and 100 grams of icing sugar. I'm going to start by mixing that in with my spatula, just cutting it in. Otherwise I will be puffing icing sugar everywhere and the whole kitchen will be all sticky and horrible. So I'm just smushing it in a bit to get that mixed in before I start beating it with a mixer. Once this is mixed in with the spatula, I'll put the beaters in and beat that to a light, fluffy creaminess. It's looking good, little pastry crummy look to it. It's got that pastry crummy look. It shouldn't create too much puff when you put your mixer on. Slowly to start with, so we don't puff that icing sugar everywhere. Now it's all drawing together and clumping around the mixer blades, I'll speed things up. Not on the camera, well I'll do that as well. I'll actually speed the mixer up. So our butter icing sugar mix I'm going to beat now a minute, maybe two, again till it goes paler in colour and gets light and fluffy. An optional extra at this point is some vanilla. I wouldn't add a standard vanilla extract. You'd want a vanilla bean paste or syrup. We don't want to be adding any form of liquidiness to this buttercream. Want to keep it nice and firm. It's so easy for a cream cheese frosting to go slack and dribbly. Ooh. Now I've got my own vanilla bean paste that I have made. I'll link to that video below. I'm going to put a teaspoonful of this in. It's a syrup, but it's nice and thick and globby. There we go. There. Give me a few little flecks of vanilla seeds through my icing. Now we have a lovely, light, fluffy, I don't know how well the camera can pick up how pale that is, but I've got a nice, light, fluffy, just butter and icing sugar at the moment, and we're ready for our cream cheese. My cream cheese of choice here in the UK is Philadelphia. It's quite a firm cream cheese and works really well with this frosting. You could try other cream cheeses. I can't vouch for how well they will work. I've kept my cream cheese in the fridge the last minute, so to our 100 grams of butter and 100 grams of icing sugar, I'm going to put 200 grams of cream cheese. So nice, easy proportions to work with. If you find you've got too much, you can cut this recipe down quite easily or increase it. So to our 100 grams of butter and 100 grams of icing sugar, I'm putting in 200 grams of cream cheese. All of the 200 grams, give me that bit. I'm just going to cut it in with my spatula for a minute and then a quick beat with the mixers to really combine that into our wonderful cream cheese frosting. Squish and splat and mix, and it shouldn't take much beating with a beater to get that incorporated. Actually, I don't think it needs a beater at all. And scrape off all that lovely frosting. Ooh, nearly missed the bowl! Here we go, you get back in, go on, there. And it shouldn't take much, just a quick whiz to combine things evenly. So that's our frosting made. I'll scrape this all into the centre of the bowl, and I'm going to pop it in the fridge and keep it there till our cake is ready. Because we're using a cream cheese, I like to keep this frosting refrigerated. When our cake's cold and frosted, I'll put that in a Tupperware box and also keep the cake stored in a fridge to keep this cream cheese frosting nice and fresh and delicious. And cool carrot cake is lovely. If you don't like it that cold, take your slice out of the fridge about an hour before you're ready to munch on it. So here we are, 45 minutes later, our cake ready to come out of the oven. It's just starting to leave the sides of the cake tin. And oh, can you see? Lovely. I've got myself 2 wire cooling racks, so I'll be able to flip my cake back and forward to get it the right way up on the rack. I might actually be able to lift it out on this paper. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Yay! That worked quite nicely. Oh, you didn't see very well though. Let's bring our cake back. Here we go. And just very slowly open up our greaseproof paper. And I'm going to put my second cooling rack on the top of our cake. And I'm not squashing it, I'm just holding the racks together gently. And I'm going to flip it over. Hopefully this greaseproof paper will come off nicely for me. Nice, it's always good when things work, isn't it? So very slowly and gently peeling back the paper to reveal our beautiful cake. Mind it doesn't catch and tear at the edges. Lovely. And put that out of the way. Ow, it's hot. And the same again, our second cake rack on top, which is now the bottom of the cake, and flip it over. And very gently, because it's a little bit sticky, there we go, lift that one off. So now that tricky bit's done, we'll leave our sponge to cool. When it's fully cold, we'll be able to decorate it with our cream cheese frosting. Hello and welcome back. Our cake is now nice and cold, and I'm actually going to put it onto my daily breadboard, because as I say, I store my carrot cake in a Tupperware box in the fridge, so I don't need a fancy plate to put it on at the moment. But I might put it on a fancy plate to take a photograph just for the thumbnail. We'll find out. You've seen the thumbnail already. I haven't even made it yet. So a nice cold cake. I'll see if I can get it onto this breadboard. Should work well. Ah, lovely. Perfect. Get rid of the wire rack. And our cream cheese frosting cold out the fridge. So I'm just going to give this it's stiffened up a little, give it a bit of a stir before I attempt to get it onto the cake. Now, so not to damage your nice fluffy cake, I'm going to add the frosting to the cake in little blobs, but not quite that little start. Rather than trying to spread one great lump and smear it around the cake, take small portions of your frosting and dab it around the cake, and then we'll attempt to smooth it all over. Come here, frosting. Gloop. I think I might have a bit more than I need for this cake. Come here. Gloop. And smaller pieces, small dobs all over the top. Ooh. I've got quite a bit of frosting left. Perhaps if you cut your cake in half and fill the inside, I'll make some buns tomorrow and put that on top. And spreading it all over. Delicious. Once you have a relatively even spread of frosting on your cake, I usually take a dinner fork and create a wavy line on the surface. Not pushing very hard, just enough to make this swishy C shape on top. And one down the bottom, just catch those edges. There, nice rough wavy finish. Looks really good on a carrot cake. Now at this stage is where I would normally finish. Cut my cake up into squares, ready to serve. But today I've made some little carrots. So I'm going to cut my cake into slices. and pop a carrot on each slice. For my big rectangular cake, I cut, can you see me? Yes you can. Long ways down the middle. Oh, let's open it up so you can see. You can see inside. We're lovely and dark and delicious. And then each of these long strips I'll cut into slices. I'm going to choose a carrot and stick it on my cake. One lovely slice of non-carrot carrot cake. No carrots harmed in the making of this video. Oh, gonna get it back on the board. There. So that's us. Beautiful no carrot cake. Ready for the thumbnails. So we'll see you next time. And whatever you're doing, remember, have fun doing it. Bye for now. To see how I made my little carrots, keep watching to the end of the video. Now, because I like to have a bit of fun, I'm going to see if I can make some little carrot shapes to go on top of my cake. Now, I've not done this before, so it's a total failure. They won't go on the cake. But let's see. I'm going to move the cake out of the way. I can go up there and brush off my worktop. I've got myself some marzipan and some orange and green food colouring in order to try and make my little carrot shapes. So some marzipan and some green and some orange, which has been leaking and I've already got it all over my fingers. So I've not done this before and we'll see how it goes. It should be pretty simple. Got myself a knife to cut some bits of marzipan. I want quite a bit of the orange, I think. Though having said that, I'm only making a few tiny little carrots. I think this little 1.5 inch cube should be more than enough for my cake. And the tiniest bit of green, we only want a little leafy speck on the top. Be nice. So let's get this dribbly orange first. Because I don't know why it's been leaking, but it has. So I'm going to squash out my marzipan a bit, give myself a little dent in the middle. This is very bright orange. And a cocktail stick, I think. Here we go, cocktail stick, just to add some orange to our marzipan. This is a colouring paste as opposed to a runny liquid. Be nervous of doing it with a liquid colouring. It might make your marzipan too sticky. And squidge that in and knead it about. Squish that in and knead it around. Make our marzipan carroty orange. You could do this with a fondant, a stiff fondant icing. Would work really well. But I have marzipan and I fancied that marzipan-y flavour for our little carrots. Oh, I've got it all in my fingers. That's what I was trying to avoid. Hopefully some of my wonderful soap will wash it off nicely. Soap making videos in the list too, anyone that's interested. Promote my own videos, why not? Ooh, it still looks quite peachy, this orange, rather than orangey orange. I don't know what I could do to make it a darker. It's a carroty colour. Perfectly fine. And I'm all sticky. Let's screw that lid back on. Yeah, very carroty. So is my finger. Orange pumpkin carving hands I have recently. And now I've added orange food colouring to them. Nice. So that's our orange carrot lump. Now to get some green. I'm going to wash the orange off my hands and the work surface. Well, that was very forgiving. I didn't expect it to come off my hands so nicely. Food colouring's usually terrible. So with my tiny bit for green, same principle, make a little dent in the middle. This is more of a, well, it's in a squeezy tube. It's a squeezy gel food colouring. So just a little bit of my green gel and fold up the hole, so hopefully I won't get it all over my fingers. Don't you squidge out of there, cover you up. There, we're sort of appley green at the moment. I like to get a little bit darker for my carrot tops. Roll the sausage, fold it up, roll the sausage, fold it up. There we go. And a green lump. Some carrots and some carrot tops. So again, let's wash my hands so we're not mixing the colours. Let's see if we can make some carrots for our carrot cake. Now I usually cut my cake, which is still here, into 10 slices. I do a long slice along the middle, and then I get 4 cuts here, which gives me 10 pieces of cake. So I want at least 10 carrots. I might try and make 12, so I've got a few spares in case something goes wrong. And if nothing goes wrong, I'll just eat the carrot. So I'm going to want 12 pieces of this. Where's my knife? If I roll a sausage shape, cut it in half, reminds me of making cookies. And roll a sausage shape, cut it in half, roll a sausage, cut it in half. So now I've got 4. If I cut them into 3s, that'll give me 12, won't it? So let's make my 4 orange sausages, each sausage into 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And last one. 1, 2, 3. There. So we'll get relatively even carrots for each slice of cake. That's not a bad little carroty size. So I'm going to roll it into a bit of a ball. Then, so I've started off with a little marble shape. Then I'm going to roll it slightly more sausagey, but still very fat. And then I just want to make one end a bit more of a point, but the top end stay flatter. So we'll look a bit carroty. Ooh, try not to spoil my point. A little carrot. They're quite big carrots, and maybe an inch long, that last one. I don't know if I can get any closer for you to see. So I'll start with a little bit of dough. This is quite a big one. So I've got my little chunk of dough that I've measured out. Roll that into a ball. So I've got a marble sort of shape piece of dough. It's better against my tunic, you can see it. And then roll that just a couple rolls to get a sausagey shape, and then take one end, pinch between the fingers, we're about halfway down the carrot, and roll that. I don't know how to describe it, but just roll and pinch so you get that long pointy carrot bit. Yay, my little carrot, it's so cute. So when I've done that, I'm going to take a little pinch of my green. I'm not measuring that out accurately like I did my carrots. Roll that into a ball, so it was a good way to start. I think a little sausagey shape. If I stick that on top of my carrot, I'm pushing it in. I'm too far away again. So I've stuck my, oh look at that! Now, there, so now with, where are we? There, oh my little carrot. So I'm going to get my pointy knife, lay it on the worktops, I'll do it up here, lay it down, and then I think slice it into 3, 1 at each side of our green bit to open it out. Oh, scoop it off the worktop, it's stuck. That's got to be the biggest carrot cake carrot I've ever seen. It's a big carrot for a carrot cake. Considering there's no carrots in this carrot cake, you're going to stick a carrot on top. There's false advertising for you. I'm going to use the back of this knife just to mark a few little stripes along the stem of our carrot. Oh, that is so cute. It'll take up the whole slice of cake. That's a big carrot. Wonder if I can make some smaller. Yay! Right, I'll see you later when I finish playing with carrots. I've put a little layer of icing sugar on my tiny chopping board so that I can lay each of my carrots that I've made and just sit them on the icing sugar while I'm waiting for my cake to be ready, so they're not sticking onto the work surface. They're quite big carrots for a carrot cake, but they're great. I love them. They're really good, as I say. Something I've not done before. So, oh, little carrots, so cute. Actually, quite big carrots, but still cute. I finished my little carrots. They've turned out so cute. I'll bring them up close. They're just lying on a dusting of icing sugar so they wouldn't stick to my board while they're waiting to go on the cake. Thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to click that like and subscribe. Bye for now. See you next time.